Hi everybody, it's Ashley. I'm going to talk today about family because it's kind of on my mind and it's kind of a hard topic. I have a great family, and as an addict who has done terrible things to my mom and dad, I stole from my dad. I caught a felony possession of heroin, and then I was released from jail, and I had 5 days to go to rehab, March 16th, 2016. And I had 5 days to go to rehab, which was awful. I should have just went straight to rehab, but instead I sat in an empty apartment that my parents had moved all my stuff from my apartment to their barn. And I, instead of reaching out, I went to the empty apartment, and my mom gave me my car keys back after screaming, calling her terrible names. I was detoxing. I was in the middle of feeling crap. She gave me the keys, and I went straight and I got drugs. So I went to rehab after 5 days and started detoxing in there. So I left after 2 days of being in rehab, and my felony possession of heroin charge would have been suspended for a year if I would have just completed the 10 days in rehab. But my mindset was I didn't care at the time. So I left rehab and I got my car, left rehab, drove to my parents' house, and I stole my dad's tools. I pawned my dad's tools. So then I just disappeared. I disappeared for a couple months. I didn't contact my daughter. I didn't contact my parents. They were worried about me. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. They were so worried about me, and I didn't even care at the time. And then I ended up getting arrested for the possession charge because I didn't follow through with what they had told me to do. And I caught a break-in and entry with intent on my parents' house. So I went to jail June 15th, 2016, and I'm grateful. I'm not grateful that I have 2 felonies, being 31 and everything, because it's impossible to find housing, and sometimes it's hard to get a job, but I'm grateful I have a job. I have a place to live. But if my parents wouldn't have called the police on me and reported me for that, I probably would have died. Because at that time of my addiction, I had OD'd several times. I had to be resuscitated multiple times. And so June was when being arrested saved my life. I sat in jail for 110 days, and I got 5 months on the felony possession of heroin, and I got 7.5 months for breaking and entry without breaking the entry with intent was my charges. And I got early release rehab, so I sat for 110 days, and September 8th I left for a 30-day rehab in Traverse City, which was the best rehab I could have ever picked in my life. I met some great people there. It was amazing. So I've been out since October 3rd, 2016. And being on probation is terrible. I mean, my probation officer denied me 5 different living places. She told me to live in a homeless shelter, and I literally went from having everything to nothing. I was homeless with just a bag of clothes, if that. The shoes I had on my feet when I went to jail is all I had, and a coat, and that was it. I was lost. So of course I drank. I drank a lot. I hung out with people that I could drink with. And then December 21st of 2016, I got violated for probation for drinking. I now have a scram tether on. I wear an alcohol tether. I only have 20 days left of the alcohol tether. But I was released January 3rd, so I missed holidays. I was sober, but I was in jail. I missed holidays with my daughter and my mom and my dad and everything. And now that I'm doing good and I have focus in my life and meaning for life, it kills me because I would love to just pick up the phone and talk to my mom and dad. And we don't have that because I destroyed it, and it's going to take some time to rebuild that. I used to be really angry at my mom and dad for turning me in and for everything that they did. But I've come to realize that they did it because they saved me. They saved my life. They were worried for their daughter. When they talk to me, it's not always positive. My mom's really positive when I do talk to her. My dad's a little difficult. I can't say that my dad hates me. I think he hates the person that I had become, and I kind of lost myself, and I'm still trying to find myself, don't get me wrong. And I definitely don't have my shit together. As much as you think you do, you don't. But it's a struggle, and addiction has torn my family away from me. My aunt is a great support. I have great aunts and my grandma. But your parents, you only get one set of parents. No matter how much you wanna not talk to them, or you're mad at them. I love my parents. I love my parents, and I've done some really crappy, shitty things to my parents and said some terrible, hurtful things, and I resent that because there's days that I want to share how good I'm doing with my parents, but they don't believe me because I've lied so much. They doubt everything I say, and it's terrible. In March, when I was released from jail, and I was at the apartment by myself, my dad came after work, and I had a needle. I had a needle with dope in it, and he walked in the door, and he knocked at the time. I gave him the needle. I gave him the needle because I was crying, and I was broken. I was broken, and my dad gave me words of affirmation and inspired me, trying to inspire me, and telling me that he knows I can do this. He knows that I can do this, that I can pull through this. And at the time, it was just words, and now I'm reflecting on it and thinking about it. Like, I should have listened. I should have listened to you. I should have listened to him. And he had faith in me. I haven't talked to him since then, so I don't know if he has faith in me now, because I stole from him right after that. Like that, and my dad. Everybody that knows my dad knows that that's a big thing. Trust is a big thing, and for respect. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to get that back with him. And that bothers me. That bothers me. It's something I got to deal with and work on. But you only get one parent. You only get two. You only get a set of parents once. They're not replaceable, and you never know what life comes. It could be tomorrow, and they won't be here. And there's a lot of things that are unsaid that I would love to say to them, and I don't know how. So if you're a family member out there who's got a loved one who's suffering addiction, please just tread lightly with them, please. I mean, try to understand that when somebody's using and they're active in addiction, they're not themselves. They do things, they say things that they don't mean. It's not them. It's the demons that they face on a day-to-day basis. It's the addiction that consumes them. They're still in there. I'm still in here somewhere. I'm just trying to figure it out right now. Don't stop loving them. Don't stop giving up on them. And know that they don't want this life, that life. They don't want to be an addiction. They don't want to be an addict. They don't want that. They want to succeed, but they just don't know how, or they don't have that willpower. And then when they do, please encourage them. Don't turn your back on them when they need you the most. That's all I got to say. God bless you all, and all you addicts out there. I love you. I'm rooting for you. All the addicts, families out there, pray for them. I'm praying for you all. I love you all. Have a good day. God bless.